Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1982 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. On the mound for Detroit is Dave Rozema, whose record is 8-3 with a 3.17 ERA. And pitching for the Red Sox today is John Tudor, whose record is 8-6 with a 4.05 ERA. Okay, we lost a tough one yesterday. We jumped out to an early lead, and we could not hold on to it. Jack Morris had one of his rougher games. He gave up all 6 runs on 10 hits. The Red Sox hit him pretty well. If you saw yesterday's game, you saw that the Red Sox are batting over 300 against him in their career, the Red Sox that were in the lineup yesterday. And so, it was not a great game. We did have 3 doubles, which was interesting, considering that doesn't happen too often. Alan Trammell had one of those doubles, and he had 3 hits in total, was the player of the game. So, before we get started with today's game, Don T. of the Baseball Mogul Facebook page had asked me about my strategies for when I'm looking to trade for an important player on my team. And of course, we just made a big trade for Bert Blylev, and you'll see here. And he was wondering, what's my strategy when I go to make a deal for an important player for our team? And it's a good question. I'm going to try to keep it concise so we can get right to the ball game. And I'm not sure there's any real, philosophy that I follow. With the exception of a couple of things. One is, when I'm ready to make a trade, I always factor in the payroll. Detroit, in this game, is kind of a mid-market team. So we cannot really have too much of a payroll because if you look at our budget here, our expenses, we don't really spend a lot of money on our farm system, scouting, or medical staff. We fall right in the middle, and I never like to go lower than 10, usually because we can't afford it. So we're ranked 11th in Major League Baseball in farm system, scouting, and 13th in medical staff. And so I try to put our money into the players on the field. If you take a look at one of the other aspects, cha-ching, is our ticket prices. Our ticket price on average is $1.70. Okay, that's how this game values tickets. But if you look at our attendance, we average around $25,000 in profit per game at home. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we have a pretty big stadium. I think it holds 48,000 people. We had 21,000. And our profit per game is 46,500. That's what I was trying to say. And anyway, we don't even do half of our attendance, even though we're winning. The more you win, the more your attendance goes up, and of course, the more profit you can make. But for Detroit, for whatever reason, even when you're winning, you don't necessarily get a lot of people in attendance. So keeping your payroll in line as a Tigers general manager is really important. We're projected to lose $105,000 right now, which is down quite a bit from where we started at the beginning of the season. And we have plenty of cash to cover it. So hypothetically, if we do not make up this money, it'll just come out of our cash and, excuse me, allergies. It'll come out of our cash and we will be fine in the end. Still able to make free agent signings and to cover our arbitration contracts. So after I determine whether or not we can afford to make a trade for a player, then I go to the depth chart and I take a look at the position that we're looking to trade for. We definitely do need a right-handed relief pitcher. That's really the only other thing I think we are looking for. So if you click on any of the highlights, you'll see it'll change your position. And I'm sure if you play this game, you know this already. But I'm just pointing that out to people who maybe are viewing this have never played this game. And it'll show you a few of the players that are available for trade offers. There are 39 free agents that are relief pitchers, which could be, anything from minor league quality players to relief pitchers who have been cut. So they're probably not going to be great. So I don't even think about those. And then you click on the block, and there's 31 players in Major League Baseball that are relief pitchers that are on the block right now. And here they show a few of the popular ones, or the better ones. One being Tippy Martinez, who I believe is on Atlanta, and he's a left-handed pitcher, so he's not going to do us any good. And then you have 3 other ones. Well, if you click on more, it doesn't show you all 31. You actually just have to go into the trade process, which is right here, trading block. And then, you can put up a player that you want to get rid of and see what like let's say hypothetically we want to get rid of Andre Dawson, which I don't. So you put Dawson on the block, you get offers. Toronto's the only team willing to offer me anything. He's willing to offer me Greg Thayer, who is a relief pitcher, is in their AAA right now, and Ernie Witt, who is from Detroit and is a good catcher. So that's what they're willing to offer for Andre Dawson. If we're going out there and we're looking to make a trade for a relief pitcher, what I like to do is I like to look at the teams. This is where my philosophy personally comes in. Like, for example, I'll go to the standings, and I'll look for teams that are below 500. Now, for whatever reason, Cincinnati keeps offering me all kinds of trade offers. They're in first place, and they're actually, most of the relief pitchers are all available for trade. I mean, Bill Landrum on the block, like we just saw these players. So they're in the middle of the hunt, and they're still, for some reason, trying to get rid of pitchers. I don't understand that. But ultimately, I prefer to trade players to the National League instead of the American League. I prefer to make deals with teams that are below 500. I will almost never trade within my own division unless it is something that's going to really help us, give us a player that can help us immediately. Otherwise, I won't trade within my own division. And like I said, I try to take advantage of teams that are below 500. So if I were going to try to make a trade for a relief pitcher, I might go to Texas, click on Texas, look at their pitching, and see, do they have a right-handed pitcher that we could use? Well, yeah, I would love to have Tom Hankey. Is Tom Hankey available? They might trade him, and he's reasonably priced. So Tom Hankey absolutely would be right at the top of my list of a player that I would be willing to trade for. So I don't know. I don't want to spend more time than necessary on this. But when I was looking for the starting pitcher, of course, I went to Pittsburgh because that's where Bert Blyleven was. I took a look at their team. They're in last place. They actually have a really good roster of offensive players. Taking a look at their pitching staff, they were clearly trying to get rid of, some payroll. And Bert Blyleven was available. And although he's not having a good year for Pittsburgh, I've played this game so much in many different iterations that I know that Bert Blyleven usually can have a Hall of Fame career. And that's why I traded for Bert Blyleven. I fully admit I did not do my due diligence. Maybe I could have got a better deal for a different player. But I did go through New York, Montreal, Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers, San Francisco, San Diego, and Atlanta. I did look through all of those. I did not look at Cleveland because they don't have anybody. I didn't really look at Toronto because Dave Stieb is injured. I'd love to have Dave Stieb. And Boston doesn't have any right-handers. All their starters are lefties, which we're going to find out more about here shortly. And anyway, and then these teams didn't really have anything to offer for starting pitchers. So when I get ready to make my next trade, maybe I'll do that in a video to show you what it is exactly that we're looking for. So I'm sorry if that was long-winded. I probably should have said skip 5 minutes ahead. I just wanted to talk about my philosophy there on trading in general and more directly on what I did to trade for Bert Blyleven. Okay, Dave Rozema on the mound today. Had a terrible start his last time out. Red Sox hit him pretty good too. Batting .313 against him in 66 plate appearances. All of the bullpen is available today. Comstock and Kelly pitched yesterday, so everybody else is good. I'm also going to address something that John M. asked me about how their happiness affects being sent down, because we did send Weaver down. We'll talk about that during the gameplay. Here's our lineup against the left-hander John Tudor. We faced him a few times. Trammell and Ricky Henderson are listed as tired, so we're going to take them out, which is rough because they do hit lefties pretty well. So we're going to put Sularz at third today, moving Hatcher to the DH position. Gibby goes back into left to replace Henderson instead of being the DH. And Mark Wagner will play short for Trammell. Okay, we can do the official Tigers lineup rundown right now. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second and DHing is Mickey Hatcher. Batting third in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth in center field is Andre Dawson. Batting sixth at first base is Greg Brock. Batting seventh in right field is Kevin Bass. Batting eighth at third base is Guy Sularz. And batting ninth, playing shortstop today, is Mark Wagner. John Tudor on the mound, making his 18th start. 8-6 with that .405 ERA. 79 Ks in 115 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .279 against him. Has 3 complete games. His fastball tops out around 89 miles an hour, and he's an average ground ball pitcher, right around 45%. His fastball is his out pitch, rated at 90, pretty darn good. He has a slider. He mixes in a curve and a changeup, which are below average. Overall, he's rated an 89, so a pretty solid left-handed pitcher in his 4th year in the majors. He is 28 years old, so he's kind of in that sweet spot where players have the best of their season of their career. There's the Red Sox defensive alignment. It is the exact same as yesterday, with the exception of Dave Rader catching for the Red Sox today. Freddie Lynn's got those 3 gold gloves out in center field. Okay, Sweet Lou leading off against John Tudor. And Lou, who has the second most RBIs on the team, flies out to right field. There's 1 down. Next up is Mickey Hatcher. Base hit to left field. Hatcher's batting average, we're not going to go for 2. Up to .333. After tomorrow's game, we will have the end of the month of June's standings and league leaders video. So I mentioned that because I think Hatcher is 5th in batting average right now. Okay, here's Gibby. Gibby hits lefties pretty well. That's why Whitaker and Gibson at the top of the lineup. And Gibson gets a base hit to right, falls in. Will Hatcher go to third? He does. So first and third, 1 down, and Lance Parrish is up. Parrish's average is plummeting. He's down to .281. Still not showing any power, and he strikes out swinging. An opportunity gone by the wayside. So Parrish and then Dawson back-to-back. A wild pitch. All right, we'll take a wild pitch. We'll take an early run. As Hatcher scores from third, it's 1-0 Detroit. Gibson goes to second. I was going to say with Parrish and Dawson back-to-back, both struggling hitters. Probably not good to have them right in the middle of the lineup. But with our 2 injuries today, that's all we could afford to do. Okay, we go to the bottom of the first. Tigers have a 1-0 lead. Here is the Red Sox lineup rundown. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Marty Barrett. Batting second in center field is Freddie Lynn. Batting third at third base is Wade Boggs. Batting cleanup in right field is Ivan Calderon. Batting fifth in left field is Jim Rice. Batting sixth at first base is Dave Stapleton. Batting seventh and DHing is Clint Hurdle. Batting eighth at shortstop is Roy Smalley. And batting ninth and catching today is Dave Rader. Dave Rozema on the mound. As I mentioned, he had a rough one his last time out, only going 3 2/3 innings, the worst start he had this season, giving up 7 runs on 9 hits. He gave up 3 dongs with no walks and no strikeouts. So we need a good bounce back. His ERA jumped from 2.63 to 3.17. Still leading the Tigers, though, in ERA, but and he's still in the top 10. But a big jump there. This is his 17th start, 8-3, having a solid season overall. 3.17 ERA, as I mentioned. 99 innings pitched so far this season with 39 Ks. Opponent's batting average is 243. He does have a complete game. We know he's a soft tosser and a very high percentage of ground balls, which is important for us to have a solid defense. And he's a sinker ball pitcher, rated an 88. He has a sidearm curve, rated an 80, and his splitter below average at a 73. But he's rated a 90. He's the highest rated Tiger starting pitcher, at least until Dan Petrie comes back. And 25 years old. We've got him for a couple more seasons. Okay, so there's the defensive alignment for the Tigers today. Kind of our weakness, I guess, is going to be shortstop with Mark Wagner filling in for Trammell. Marty Barrett leading off against Rosie, 1 for 2 in his career. And he'll find you right away as Wagner catches the line drive by Barrett, 1 down. Next up is Fred Lynn. A ground ball back to Rozema. And Rozema tosses out Lynn at first. Next up is Wade Boggs, batting average under 300. And there's a base hit from Boggs. So first hit for the Red Sox is by Wade Boggs. Next up is Ivan Calderon. Shoots it to right field, and Bass makes the running play on the line drive. We go to the top of the second. Greg Brock leading off. Brock, as a lefty, does not hit lefties very well at all. But he does get on base. We can count on him for maybe a walk today. Oh, there's an infield single to first. We'll take it. It's a high chopper that Stapleton couldn't make a play on. We're going to give him an infield single. Next up is Kevin Bass. We're going to hit and run with Bass. Bass also struggling. So we'll make a contact. Hey, there we go. Base hit up the middle. Brock has to hold at second. Probably should have been on third, but you don't run on Fred Lynn. That's why he's got the 3 gold gloves. And now Guy Sularz is up. We are going to sacrifice bunt with Sularz. I believe Sularz only has 1 hit as a Tiger. No, he's got 4 hits. He's 4 for 24 now. But he's not a hitter. He's a defensive replacement. And he lays down a nice bunt back to Tudor, and everybody moves up. So good job by Sularz. That's going to bring up Mark Wagner, who is leading the American League in sacrifices. We're going to ask him to get a sacrifice fly. Now, interestingly enough, Boston is now pulling in the infield, already down 1. Oh, there we go. Wagner down the right field line. That'll score 2. A 2-run double by Wagner, and his great season continues. A career high in doubles now with 8 and only 63 at-bats. And, I mean, we will not re-sign him for next season. That's why we got Guy Sularz to take over that utility role. Whitaker up next with a base hit. Will Wagner score? He does. It's 4-0 Detroit as we are pounding on John Tudor. Okay, now normally I would hit and run here with Hatcher, but we're up 4, so we're going to let him swing away. Tigers are getting good cuts. Oh, no. A routine grounder to short, and that'll be a double play. Okay, so we put up 3 runs on the board. We go to the bottom of the second, 4-0 Detroit. We got Jim Rice, Stapleton, and Clint Hurdle due up. Jim Rice, a ground ball to second, 1 down. Next up is Dave Stapleton, sharp liner to right. Bass makes the play. 2 down now for Clint Hurdle, and Hurdle almost snuck it by Wagner at short, and he guns him down. So we're going to the top of the third, and I guess we'll take a moment here to address a question that John M. asked, which was, if I take Weaver and I send him down to the minor leagues, does that affect his happiness? So, for example, if you're not familiar with this game, each player has a mood rating up here in the corner. Kirk has a nice house near Detroit. I think he likes it here. And this smiley face is the best of the 5 different moods, which range from happy all the way down to like discontent, which is like a blue frowny face. And so I did look it up in the game, and the mood, it does affect several things, including contract negotiation. It's also can be based on their playing time, plus what friends they have on the team. If we look at the vitals for Gibby, his friends are Rosie. Of course, that makes sense. He married his Rozema's sister. Trammell, Jeff Robinson, who's in Double-A, and Glenn Gulliver, who we traded to the Cubs, who's an all-star over there for them. So we have some of his friends on the team. So friends is another thing that affects the happiness. The clubhouse atmosphere, it said. I don't know what that means exactly. And what their ambition is, which I believe maybe that's part of their skills? Well, it must be under the edit player rating, which we're not going to go into. So to answer your question, John, about will Weaver's happiness be affected by me sending him down? The answer is possibly. I mean, I think it is possible that it could affect him spending any time at all in the minor leagues after being up in the majors for essentially 3 seasons as Gibby flies out to right. So he's only going to be down for 10 days. What we're doing is we're trying to keep him healthy for the whole season. Now, he is pitching at the AAA level, so he is accumulating innings, but I don't think they really affect his standing with his stats in the majors. So I'm going to do the same thing with Dave Rucker after the All-Star game, and we'll see if we can stretch out some of our relievers all year long. Like, I mean, you may not even know who Roger Weaver was if it wasn't for this game. He didn't pitch all that much in real life, and so I'm assuming that his health rating is based on, here's Dave Rader as Smalley strikes out to lead off the bottom of the third. Wow, nice shot by Rader. Caught by Gibby in left. Yeah, so like, I'm assuming that his health rating will go down precipitously if we don't kind of control his major league level innings. A nice 1-2-3 inning there from Rosie. We go to the top of the fourth, up 4. Greg Brock leading off. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. The truth is I'm not really sure what bearing it has overall on any player, let alone someone like Weaver. But I feel like we're doing the right thing. So 2 quick outs, 2 quick ground outs. And then Sularz gets a base hit to right field. There we go, Guy? No, we're not going to go for 2. So here's the big hero so far, Mark Wagner. He had the 2 RBI double. And he hits a slow roller this time to Stapleton at first. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Tigers have 4 runs and 7 hits. Rosie definitely bouncing back strong so far, as Fred Lynn leads off by hitting a deep fly ball to center field, caught on the warning track at the deepest part of the park, 418 feet. Dawson makes the catch. 1 down. Oh, now that one he's not going to catch. Boggs slams it for a double, almost to the exact same spot, this time on a line drive. Boggs has 17 doubles now on the season. So runner in scoring position for Ivan Calderon. We're going to play everybody straight away. Ground ball to Wags. That's the wrong person to hit it to. Boggs cannot advance. 2 down now for Jim Rice. And Rice gets a base hit into center field. He's an RBI machine. He drives in the first run of the game for the Red Sox. It is 4-1. So 2 down now for Dave Stapleton. And he's going to pop it up to Brock at first. And there we go. So the Red Sox get on the board with the RBI from Jim Rice. We go to the top of the 5th. It's 4-1. Sweet Lou leading off the inning, grounding out to Boggs at third. 1 down. Mickey Hatcher up next. Popping it up onto the outfield grass. Smalley makes the play. With 2 down, Gibby strikes out looking on a very hittable changeup. We go to the bottom of the 5th with Clint Hurdle leading off. We got a lefty, a switch hitter, and a lefty. So 3 lefties in a row. Starting with Clint Hurdle. Hurdle goes with the pitch to left. Gibson makes the catch, 1 down. Next up is Roy Smalley batting .308 versus right-handers. And he strikes out, 2 Ks for Rosie. 2 down now for Dave Rader, who we did not talk about yet today as he grounds out to first. But you might remember that 1980 season, the first that we simmed, this guy was just crushing it against us. He became the starting catcher on this team when we traded for Carlton Fisk, who turned out to be a big bust, much like Andre Dawson. We go to the top of the 6th, and yeah, he was a tough out against our starters. Parrish grounds out to first. I believe he is 0 for 3. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. Yeah, Parrish 0 for 3 now, 2 Ks. Player of the game so far would have to be Wagner. 1 down. Here is Dawson. There's a base hit into center field. That's the first hit for Dawson today. Runner on first for Greg Brock. Well, this would definitely be a hit and run situation, but Brock does not do that well. And it is a lefty, so this could be bad. We're going to let him swing away. And he pops it up. At least it won't be a double play. Caught by Smalley, 2 down. What is stolen base percent? 70%. Dave Rader's arm is an 80, so right at average. We're up by 3. I don't think we need to take any risks. And neither does Kevin Bass. He doesn't even take the bat off his shoulder. So he strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Rosie only at 62 pitches, so he's been efficient. Marty Barrett leads off the inning by hitting a ground ball to Sularz at third, 1 down. Next up is Freddie Lynn. Lynn, sharp ground ball into the hole between short and third. Looks like Wagner made the play, 2 down. And then Wade Boggs hits a little taparoo back to Rozema, who cannot field it cleanly. And Boggs is safe on the error. Okay, this makes me a little nervous. Calderon up, cleanup hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. And Boggs with a 69 speed steals second base. He does have 3 stolen bases this year, probably all against Detroit. No, he had 1 against Texas in the 20 games, so I was just curious. Okay, so Boggs steals second in scoring position for Calderon. That usually means a base hit. Oh, nope. Slow roller to Whitaker. Whitaker tosses him out. We go to the top of the 7th inning, 4-1 Detroit. Whitaker playing really great at second base. Of course, he won the Gold Glove last year, and I think he's got to be in contention for sure for the Gold Glove this year. As Sularz grounds back to Tudor. 1 down for Wags. Wags goes to right. Caught on the line by Calderon. And with 2 down, we go back to the top of the lineup for Lou, who hits a floater into right field. Caught by Calderon. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Tudor. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We got 2 righties up, and then we hit the lefties, and I think that's when we need to start thinking about whether we want to stretch Rosie out much longer. There's a base hit by Rice. And so it begins. I'd love to get a double play here with Stapleton. I can't imagine they're going to send Rice down 3. Okay, there we go. Nice job by Rozema striking out Stapleton. So I think we're going to try to get Hurdle. Hurdle's got a couple base hits in his career against Rosie. Sharp ground ball to third. Let's go around the horn. Oh no, Sularz! Sularz makes his first error as a Tiger. Worst possible moment. It's 1st and 2nd now. And I think we need to bring in a left-hander. It'll turn Smalley around. Smalley does not hit lefties well as a switch hitter. And the error by Sularz will chase Rosie from the game. And, man, we're going to bring in Capizzello. Capizzello we're going to have to send down, too. The only pitcher that we cannot send down is Tom Hume because he has a major league contract. But Cappy is definitely our best left-handed pitcher at getting left-handers out. And now Smalley bats 200 versus lefties. And at least I don't feel like he's going to hit a home run. Oh, no, Capizzello loads the bases with a walk. And Dave Rader is up. Now, again, we have a double play situation. I'm not going to pull the infield in. We have no speed on the base pass. And Rader, of course, is an older catcher. So, ground ball to second. Let's do it. Yes. Okay. So Capizzello gets out of that. Tigers were trying to give that one away with Rosie and Sularz both making an error that inning. But we get out of it. And we go to the top of the 8th. Hatcher shoots it into right center field, and he has himself a double. Hatcher has his 9th double of the season. Again, we're not a doubles team, but you wouldn't know it for the last week or so. We definitely are making up for it. So, runner on second. Nobody out. Tudor at 94 pitches. Gibby 1 for 3 with a strikeout today. And he goes oppo. Is it deep enough to advance that we could really use that extra run, but it's not worth risking. Maybe it would have been, because Dawson, with Parrish and Dawson up, Parrish has done jack crap. Oh, he walks here, though. That was borderline. I guess it was outside of the strike zone. Maybe not a bad move to pull a double play out of Andre Dawson. Yep, there we go. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and we have a bunch of righties. No, we have a righty and then 2 lefties. Let's bring in our closer, Rucker. He's our lefty closer. Again, we do not have Weaver, so Tom Hume will get the right-handed closing opportunity. He does have 1 save, so theoretically, if we can get Rucker to get Barrett, Lynn, and Boggs, we'll bring in Hume to close out the ball game. And Rucker gets righties out really well, so I feel good about this. Oh, shit. Base hit up the middle. Now I feel bad. My emotion just had a mood swing right there. Runner on first. I can't imagine he'll be trying to steal, but they might be hitting and running with Lynn. Ground ball to first. Let's turn 2. Well, they get the lead runner, Barrett, at second base. Good job by Brock. Good pivot. And so runner on first. Freddie Lynn. Wade Boggs is up. Boggs batting .262 versus lefties, and a wild pitch sends Lynn to second. That run doesn't really mean anything, as Boggs pops it up to first. Now, do we let Rucker go after Calderon? They've never faced each other, and I've showed before, righties are only batting .183 against Rucker, and he has not given up a home run this season. So the odds are in Rucker's favor. There's always a first time. Oh, there we go. Good job by Rucker. Fly ball to right. And that'll do it. They're going to bring in Eck, which makes sense, I guess, because Aponte pitched 2 1/3 innings to get the save yesterday, his second save of the season. So they're going to bring in Eckersley. We're taking a look at him real quick. 29th appearance, 6-1 in relief. That's pretty darn good. 13 saves, 3 blueies. Opponents are batting .229 against him, so pretty solid. His control's a 95. I mean, he's not, in real life, he hardly ever walked anybody. So we're going to the 9th. We have Greg Brock, Bass, and Sularz due up. Starting it off with Brock. There we go. Brockness monster. Base hit into center field. He's 2 for 4 on the day. If we pull this out, I'm still thinking it's Wagner. Now we could definitely hit and run with Kevin Bass. Oh, boy. Oh, he strikes out and he throws him out. Shoot. Oh, man, that was rough. So Brock caught stealing. It's going to leave it up to Sularz, and Sularz is overmatched. Grounding out to second. So it has come to this. We're going to take out Rucker. We're going to bring in Tom Hume. We haven't pitched Hume in a couple of days. Trying to give him a breather. He's already thrown 42 innings pitched. We're not even at the halfway point, which is tomorrow's game. Tomorrow is the official halfway point of the season. So Hume comes in. He's been really good all season. And Jim Rice rounds out to second. There's one down. Dave Stapleton up next. Another back to Hume, and Hume tosses him out. Down to the final out with Clint Hurdle. Hurdle batting .265 versus right-handers. He goes up. Oh! Gibby makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning. Tigers win 4-1. Good job by Hume closing that ball game out. He was a closer for the Reds in the 80s, so we were in good hands there. Tigers win 4-1. No trade offers. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. And we have won 50 games, 50 and 30, 20 games over. If you can't do the math, I just did it for you. Kansas City, 9 games up on Seattle. Take a look at transactions. Wow, a lot of things. A minor league deal for Buddy Schultz, purchased by the Cleveland Indians, now the Guardians, right? So he's in AAA. Interesting signing. They're probably pretty desperate. Walt Terrell of the Mets, couple days. Brian Allard, rookie pitcher for Texas, out for 2 weeks. And then we had 2 retirees. Tim Hosley, former Detroit Tiger draft pick way back in the day, retires at age 35, has not played this season in the majors, retired from Oakland. And Dick Tidrow, pretty solid reliever in his time. He actually was pitching in 1982. There's his 1982 Cubs card. But he had not pitched since our first season of Sim for the Twins in 1980. So enjoy your rocking chair. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and or subscribe. Check out our other playlists. If you go right to my main page, it'll show you the most popular playlists by views. And you can see some of our more popular stuff that we've done, including this. There's actually one baseball game on there. Game 131 from the 1980 season. I don't know why, but it's popular. Mark Wagner, player of the game. That's an easy call. His 2 RBIs basically won the game for us. Although I guess it was Dawson technically. But Wagner got the his 8th double. Hatcher his 9th. Couple errors. That sucks. Dave Rozema, his 9th win. 9-3 on the season. Good job by the bullpen. Tom Hume getting his 2nd save. Filling in for Weaver today. John Tudor takes the loss. He pitched all right. He is 8-7. Eckersley comes in to finish off the game. Wade Boggs got his 17th double. That's going to do it. We're going to come back tomorrow with Game 3 of the 3-game series. Also, after that game, we will have our standings and league leaders video separately. So stay tuned for that. Until tomorrow, everyone, have a great day.